All right, party people. Let's get back to it. And resume. Okay, so we're heading back to the base. And we are most of the way there. In a trailer, just need to go down the hill, cross the ice, and then dump all this junk. Because we are rather encumbered, actually. Okay, so it's a little bit slow. Actually, can we dump anything? I think we can drop firewood.
Feels like a lot of gear.
It's because it is a lot of gear. And we probably don't need all this water. Okay, better. Not completely unencumbered, but better. So if we follow this road down, I think it'll probably take us to the log sort, and hopefully it'll take us around anything fluffy. But that remains to be seen. I did hear an awoo over in this direction last night in game. But we've only got one scent mark. And if the wind is properly handling that, we should be safe. Because there shouldn't be any awoos over there. Downwind. We got branches. Other than that, it really is just a matter of taking it low and slow. Okay, yeah, there's a deer over there. So we should be generally safe in this area. Which means we can think about other things. So the plan is to get to our base out in Misanthrope's Island, dump all the materials and things, possibly recraft arrows, because we did break a bunch of arrows back at the Bleak Inlet, and then suit up and equip for a trip to the north to Pleasant Valley and other northern locales. And basically just see if we can do some surveying and scouting and uncover as much map as we can as fast as we can. Okay, this looks like it's going a little bit uphill. I might go off-road. Might be a good idea to go off-road. Because I want to get down to the lake as soon as possible. We can take a gauge of exactly how dangerous the situation is down there, because there should be a wolf pack and possibly a bear somewhere on the lake, but it's big enough we ought to be able to go around. That ought not be a problem. Okay, but we can limp and drag our body down there. Let's see. Okay, there's our lake. How do we get down? I guess we really just do have to follow the road, huh? Because this looks quite steep. Yeah, I guess it'll meet up somewhere over in this direction. Or there will be a bit of a hill that we can scamper down. Yep. I really do like this region. It's I feel safe here despite the several wolf packs and bear in existence. This is one of the earliest regions it's been in the game. It's one of the ones that I spent time in the first time I played this years and years ago. And I just have a general feel, at least near the bay, of what's going on and where things are. And where things should and shouldn't be. This probably not safe to traverse. So over the bridge and down the planned route, I suppose. as designed. Okay, hope we don't run into any anything angry on the way. Yeah, I think it should just be an easy walk past the log sort. And luckily, it's not too cold, so we're not freezing our behind off. Even if we do start freezing, hopefully, by the time it gets to the afternoon times, we'll warm up. We won't lose too much condition. And I haven't heard any awoos yet. Haven't heard anything fluffy, anything hungry, anything nibbly. Which always means we're in for a nice old time. You've returned. So I think last time I saw you, we were in the Bleak Inlet area. We hoovered up anything that we would want to get from that area, and now we're headed back to the base. And let's see. So we got this guy. Let me just tab over Mia. Okay, so yeah, so basically, we went over to the Bleak Inlet before and just took everything from there, and now we're heading to the base to dump all the stuff and prepare to head up north. But otherwise, I'm hoping the trip is uneventful. Time will tell whether that ends up being the case. As long as we don't hear any more awoos. But yeah, it's so between this region and I keep forgetting, the Bleak Inlet that we were at before, there were two. Yeah, it was a trek. There are two mountaineering ropes we need to climb up, and you can't be over your weight limit when you climb up or down the mountaineering ropes. It just doesn't let you go. And so there was a lot of logistics getting up and down those with all this carry weight, because right now we are definitely at least 10 kilos over. I think it's actually, yeah, I think we're like almost 15 kilos over. Yeah, we're 15 kilos over. With all this good stuff, all the swag that we got from the party over the Bleak Inlet. And so now we're just dragging our body over to basically where I've got so much stuff stashed. We're going to dump a whole bunch of stuff, dump as much stuff as we can so that we travel light. And then I'm going to head north. I always want to check. In this area, there should be a workbench, but I can never remember where it is. I think it's at the fishing village, not here. We did find an ammo bench. I don't know if you were there, but the Bleak Inlet is in the southern part of the Bleak Inlet. There's like an industrial site. It's a cannery that they make all the sardine cans that you find in the game, I suppose. And in the cannery, there is a locked door with an electronically locked keypad. So you have to wait for an aurora where the electronics are working again. You have to put in the key code in the keypad, and inside that locked warehouse, there is an ammunition workbench. The first and only one of its kind that I've found so far. So that was, I guess, the main discovery down there. I'm not sure what that is, but it's not moving, so it's probably just a tree stump. But yeah, inside that locked room, there's like all of, it's actually a nirvana of crafting, because there's a regular workbench, but there's also a mechanical lathe, which is electrically powered, so it only works during an aurora, but you can use it to repair manufactured tools like a proper hatchet and a proper hunting knife. And you can repair them with scrap metal as opposed to having to use the expendable whetstones. So it's basically a renewable way to repair these high quality survival tools. And I didn't even know it existed. So I walked in and was like, lathe, what the hell is that? What am I going to use that for? To make ingots? But yeah, it was a surprise to see. So fortunately though, once you unlock the door stays open. Problem though is, yeah, definitely true. Okay, so that is where, so right now there's one wolf. I bet if I get closer and look away, they will multiply. Because I have been trolled by these guys spawning. But yeah, right now I've got pretty good condition on tools. What do we have? Yeah, we've got a good hatchet. I probably should have left the heavy hammer there. And have a pretty good hunting knife. The hunting knives last forever. And so I'm not really worried about that thing's condition. And I also have 1 or 2 whetstones around. So we're not quite in the situation where we have to go and use the lathe. Okay, so we got one wolf. Let's see if we can do a magic trick. Okay, still one wolf. So you can definitely see that there is a limited visual range on these animals because we've got a wolf over here. And we have a huge herd of deer over here. Okay, it's still just one wolf. As long as it doesn't come this way, I just want to go up that little hill over there, and then we'll be at the base. We will be completely based. And the base is, you know, it's stocked with food, it's stocked with water, so we can do pretty much any resupply we need. And what I really want to do is I want to try to get... what is this? What is that? Why is there a feather in the middle of the ice? I don't know. But I want to get as light of an outfit, as light as a loadout as I possibly can. Because once we head north, I don't want to have to come back to drop stuff that we find if we find anything good. Okay, I think we're probably safe from the wolf now. And even then, it's still just the one. It is still just the one. Yeah, no, this is a... Oof. Off. When I initially left the Bleak Inlet, because I had to carry enough water and food to make it back here, it was even worse. So that was kind of the end of the last stream. So if anyone goes back through the VODs, you can probably skip that bit, because it was just a little bit of up and downing. Although I did get trolled by an invisible wall and some bad geometry and almost broke a leg. Okay, it's almost noon. The temperature is rising. So now this is fine. Come on now. Actually, let's... Every little bit that you can lose in weight helps. To walk just a little bit faster. I think the closer you can get to 10 kilograms overweight, the closer you can get to being at least nominally fast. Okay. Well, once we get to the big hilltop up here, you can see the absolutely, ridiculously, at least for my standards, kitted out base. We've got a whole bunch of exterior storage I made with a bunch of rock cairns. Inside, I've, got a whole bunch of cured and dried out. I've got food, I've got equipment, I've got, multiple firearms, ammo, anything you could want. Honestly. Okay, and this, because I spent a lot of time in this region before, and so I'm quite familiar with specifically this hillside. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly anything you could want to have some long-term survival. Tons of firewood. I think like at least half a bear worth of food, so it's like 15 kilograms or something. Although that's probably getting a bit lower. But first, let's head inside. Yes, the home away from home. And we got deer. Okay, yeah, so so these things, I think, also probably weren't there a long time ago. But it's basically an exterior storage container that you can place. You can construct them with 50 stones and maybe like some sticks. But they're pretty good for storage. Okay.
This gear is slowing me down.
I lugged a bunch of car batteries over here, and these we can break down for lead. And eventually, if we need to, drag those back to the Bleak Inlet. Okay. Let's pick up all these things that cured in the meantime. And let's head over to the cabinets, where we've got all of the curing equipment. Okay. I think all of these are basically full up. Yeah, like, look at all this good stuff. Let's drop the pelts here as much as we can. You can't really fit much. You can't really fit much. You are not that. You can... Okay, you can't really fit much. And you... 20 cured birch saplings. It's actually obscene. Okay, all this stuff. Cured. Okay, this is fresh. And you guys are fresh. So these things... Yeah, and now we're moving. These things need to be dropped in the cure spot. Yeah, that's the downside of this building. Eventually, it doesn't have, an absolutely gigantic amount of storage. It's got a lot, but not too much. Okay, so for example, 25 arrowheads here. Firearm cleaning kits. Here's another heavy hammer. I guess we could drop this guy in here. Where are you? Drop you. And let's drop the woodworking tools in here too. Yeah, so we've got a revolver. Where did there's got it. I think the rifle is over here. Did I put it in the cabinet? No, I must have put it somewhere else. There's a bunch of stuff. Random things in the fridge, as you do. Yeah, honestly, I'm actually thinking of not moving, but maybe getting a summer house. Let's see, what have we got that we might want to drop? Yeah, first let's actually decide what is extra that we want to drop. I think we can drop a bunch of these matches. Where's a good place to put matches? Not here. Not here, really. Not here. This is one of the downsides of having all this stuff. Like, where do I put things to keep it all together? I guess this really is the best place for it. So let's drop most of these matches. That got busted. One of the magnifying lenses, all the wood matches. And let's prepare the birch bark, because I think prepared birch bark has less mass than unprepared birch bark. Okay, that's fine. We don't need so much of it. So let's drop some of these things as well. Actually, there's not really any medical stuff here. So where's all the medical stuff? Here it is. Okay. Let's drop most of the birch bark. What else? Maybe an energy drink. Bandages we're fine on. And painkillers, I mean, that's light enough, and you never know when you'll need it. Okay, what else do we want to drop? So that's this. We can drop the tinder plugs. Actually, we can drop those somewhere there. The fire making skill is high enough that I don't need tinder plugs at all. So I'm just going to drop these somewhere that they'll not be in the way. Okay, what have we got going on here? Okay, upstairs, we can drop the extra clothing, which is mainly that moose-hide satchel, which is here. All this other stuff is being worn. Okay, so let's see what to drop next. So we've got only a nice amount of weight here, 0.69. We've got 1.5 kilos of medical. Actually, where's all that weight coming from? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. This wise, it's light enough, but let's actually drop some of this coffee and tea. Probably in the fridge, right? Yeah, so let's drop probably most of it. Let's keep 1 stack each. Okay, and now 20 kilos of equipment. What do we want to drop? Let's keep the charcoal, because that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Expendable and consumable. Let's see, let's drop our flask, drop the hatchet, probably drop drop the hatchet. I don't think we want to drop the hatchet, actually. But I do know that we want to drop the ammunition, because this is our ammunition spot. So we drop the flask. Where'd the flask go? Here it is. Drop the shell casing, drop the ammunition, drop the casings, whoops. And what else can we ditch? Oh, I guess I missed it, but there's the rifle. Do we have a... Okay, we do have a spray can. I kind of want... Yeah, I do have a lot. Actually, I didn't even realize it was this much for the revolver. And that's a pretty good amount of rifle ammunition, too. Okay, but let us think. Let us think. Because here's my suspicion. My suspicion, and I don't think I'm going out too far on a limb here, is that the location called Timberwolf Mountain may have a lot of timberwolves. So I kind of want to stock up on some kind of ammunition before going there. Now, whether that's a revolver and like 50 rounds, or whether it's the bow and like, 20 arrows, I've not yet decided yet. I'm leaning towards the bow. But I definitely don't want to be caught out there without any, any ways of defense, especially since I've never actually been to that location before. So that's like, so one of the two locations that I've never been to before are, well, the two locations are Timberwolf Mountain and Ash Canyon. I know, right? So I would bring both, but let's take a look at how much carrying capacity that would be. So the rifle, where'd the rifle go? Here it is. So the rifle is probably the strongest, especially like medium to long range, and it's decent rate of fire. And that is 4 kilograms. Compared to the 4 kilograms, the ammunition is pretty much negligible. But let's see, it looks like the ammunition is like, 10 rounds is like 0.2 kilograms, so it's not that much. The revolver is 1.5 kilos on its own, and then 10 rounds there is like 0.1. So, the revolver and 50 rounds would be 2 kilos. The rifle and 50 rounds would be like 5 kilos. The bow, where's the bow? The bow is 0.5 kilogram, and each arrow is 0.15 kilograms. So the bow and 20 arrows would be 3.5 kilos. But the upside for arrows is you can use them. You can shoot arrows multiple times before they break, as long as you can recover the arrow. And so I think that's why that would win out. I mean, maybe even 15 arrows instead of 20, because 20 is pretty large amount. Okay, but let's think about what we want to drop here. I don't think I need the can opener. Let me see. I thought there was something about the can. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so the can opener lets you get all of the food from opening a can instead of having to smash it open. But because I'm a master cook, I'm the reincarnation of Guy Fieri. No calorie loss when smashing open cans. So I don't actually need to have a can opener for any reason. Okay, so let's actually put that in here. Yep. And what else can we drop? I like to keep a bunch of fishing tackle because it's extremely lightweight. It doubles as a sewing kit, which is kind of my main reason for carrying a bunch of these things around. So let's go down the list. So we want to drop, I remember the flares are in this cabinet. So many flares. Oh, a bunch of hacksaws too. Okay. Let's keep one of each kind of flare just for emergencies. Let's drop the flashlight because I never really have a use for those. I feel like the flashlight is probably a lifesaver if you get caught in Timberwolf territory during an aurora, but hopefully with some judicious planning we can avoid that. Let's see. We always want to have a pry bar because it's the only way to pry open locked lockers and locked car trunks. We want to keep the mountaineering rope because I have explored everywhere that is south and west of Pleasant Valley. And there are no unroped climbing spots that I would care to put a rope on. So this mountaineering rope is completely useless anywhere in these regions that we searched for, which means I want to bring it to the next region. Because if we do that, then we can maybe find a use for it. Okay, we want to go here to our equipment. The torches are kind of heavy for each one, but they are cheap enough that I don't mind ditching them if weight becomes an issue. Okay, the recycled can, I guess we can drop this guy. Because that is really only good for boiling water. I feel like we've got yeah, there's a bunch of them already. So it can go in the pile. And for these things, probably, well, crow feathers. Crow feathers. Crow feathers we can use for making tackle, or I guess fishing lures, and for fletching arrows. So let's actually make a whole bunch of arrows, because I think that's the only other thing that I would want to do before heading out. Because right now, there's really only two considerations. One is, do we do the bearskin bedroll or a regular bedroll? The regular bedroll is lighter. It weighs 1 kilogram versus the bearskin's 3. But it doesn't give you as high of a temperature bonus. And also, I suspect the smell might scare animals away. Might be alluding to a stat that will perhaps help stop things from sneaking up while sleeping. So I actually think the 2 kilograms is probably worth it for the bearskin bedroll. I think we'll keep the bearskin bedroll. And I think I want to make another survival bow, because you can't, as far as I know, repair their survival bows. So they're completely expendable. And for that, what we need is one of these maple saplings. Actually, let's just go and do a whole bunch of work on the workbench. So what do I want to repair? I want to repair this sweater, which is going to take cloth. This underwear, which is going to take cloth. And deerskin. So I want cloth, 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 deerskin, because I think this is 2 cloth. So we have cured deer hide. We need gut. And we need cloth. I think we have cloth. Okay. So let's hunker down for a little bit of repair, and then let's head over to the fishing village, because that, I believe, somewhere over in this direction, is going to be our most easily accessible workbench. There is another workbench over in the coastal town site, which I guess technically is closer, but it also might be wolf infested, and I don't want to deal with that. Got enough wolf pelts to last for as long as I care to last. Okay, so here's all of our bear meat from before. And let's take a little bit of a nibble at that. Because repairing clothing is thirsty work. Okay, so let's start with the sweater. And repair. Well, I mean, hey, if you need some background noise, I aim my highest aspiration in life is to just be some noise so that people can pass the time. But you know, if you need to concentrate and focus, I hope there is just enough busyness during your graveyard shift that it passes quickly. Okay, so we'll prepare to move. Can we? We can just directly repair. Okay. Yeah, hopefully you don't fall asleep during the shift. Alright, and we'll just get down to this. Yeah, I heard an owu over there. Very far away. Well, I mean, if I'm too soothing, then maybe you shouldn't leave me on. If it's gonna lull you to sleep while you shouldn't be. You can be the security guard during the heist film that just happens to fall asleep at the most inopportune time that the burglars, you know, sneak through and start to burgle the museum. Okay, but it's nice that you show up for a little bit. Okay, what was I gonna do? I always forget what I was going to do when I have the slightest amount of thinking about other things. All right, we're preparing to go over and make a whole bunch of bows and arrows. Okay, so we have the... What was it? We have the maple saplings for the bows. We have the cured gut for the bows. We have a whole bunch of crow feathers, which I think it's 5 crow feathers per batch of arrows. So let's actually get more arrowheads than we can shake a stick at. You can really only use them to make arrows with, so there's no point in really keeping extras. Let's get a whole bunch of crow feathers. I think it takes 5 per 3 arrows, but I don't actually remember. So let's just do overkill. And we are going to probably need a bunch of food and water to sit out there. Basically to remain at the workbench for long enough to do all this work. Okay, well, we can take these pre-made arrow shafts. Because again, the only thing you can use an arrow shaft for is making an arrow, so you might as well use it. And we need birch saplings. And the birch saplings, I guess this is 5. We had a whole bunch of other ones. Let's do a little bit of scrap metal, because one thing that they added is, since a long time ago, is kind of like accessory slots for things. And accessories they're not really clothes. So their main purpose is to either be like a little bit of a boost like clothes or some other purpose. For example, the moose hide satchel gives you 5 more kilograms of carry weight. But the improvised crampons are a new accessory, let's say. And these guys, from what it says, basically make it so that you can walk over difficult terrain for longer before you break an ankle or a wrist. And I think they also make it easier to climb up and down ropes. Don't quote me on that second one, but as far as I know, they're a very good safety item to have. But while they're not repairable, yeah, I'm not seeing any actions here. While I don't think they're repairable, they are repairable. Actually, I don't think I would ever want to repair, because repair amount 22, I think you can make them 100% fresh at a workbench for 3 scrap metal. So maybe the downside there is that you need the workbench. I'm not sure. But I don't want to repair them. I want to make new ones. And in case that requires simple tools,
drop any of this gear.
Let's pick that up just to have it. Okay, so what's the situation? We have 5 cured birch saplings. We have 18 arrowheads. So 5 cured birch saplings should give us 15 shafts, plus the 10 is 25. Okay, so that's more shafts than we have arrowheads. Let's pick up 2 more arrowheads. So now we can make 20 arrows. If only we can spend enough time at the workbench to do it. I believe, and actually we can check this. Okay, yeah, arrow shaft takes a workbench, hunting knife, that's fine. And 30 minutes a pop, and 1 cured sapling per... Okay, so I was wrong about that. So we need more cured saplings, like a lot more cured saplings. I might have been thinking about the fire-hardened arrows. And so let's see. Simple arrow is 1 shaft, 1 arrowhead, 3 feathers. Bow is 1 maple sapling, 2 cured gut, and workbench. Okay. So we are going to need a lot more of these birch saplings than I was thinking. And let's just have some gut to have it, to have some extras. Okay, here's our birch saplings. Let's take all those. Okay, that's pretty heavy. Maybe a little bit much. We have 20 arrowheads. We have 31 birch saplings. We can actually drop quite a few of these birch saplings. And I guess we can probably, because we have 10 shafts plus 16. Yeah, that's already more. Okay. So we're still walking fast. Let's go see if we can, well, first get a slurp to drink if I can find the fridge. There it is. W is for water. I guess that's in the freezer. Yes. So get some water. Drink the water. Sleep until as close to morning as we can get. Probably isn't going to be quite dawn, but it'll be close enough. And then I think what we do is we pick up a little bit more water. Probably sleep for what, 9 hours? Actually, probably only get 7 hours of sleep out of that. Oh, that's an aurora. Probably slept through it. No, we didn't sleep through it. Okay. Which means we can actually find the fridge again more easily. Very nice. Okay. Double check. We have arrowheads. We have arrow shafts. We have birch saplings. We have cured gut. And let's actually take one more hunting knife if we can find it. I want to find a low condition hunting knife to use for all of this crafting. Because if I can keep the condition use off of my high condition hunting knife, then I can just keep using the high condition hunting knife when we go to the next region. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. So let's get some food and some water. Start with a decent chunk of water because we are going to be, we'll be there for a while, let's just say.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
And we can also do food, which should be in here. Okay. Actually, is there anything we can temporarily drop? We can drop this mountaineering rope. This will take it to the next area, but we don't need it for this. Alright, now we just need to not run into any bath salts wolves. Oh, you know what? Let's take a walk down on the what is that? What is that? It's like a brown thing over here, and I wasn't expecting to see it. Is it really? Is it just a shadow? It is just a shadow. Okay, so let's take a look on the shore, see if there's anything nice that spawned. If we get lucky, maybe we can even find another arrowhead. You don't always get lucky, but sometimes you do. Is this just... is a pallet superimposed on an empty locker? Can I break this down by hand? No. And it's not worth the hatchet condition loss. There are only 3 reclaimed wood, and I'd rather use it on a, like a tree limb. Get more burning time out of it. Okay, this looks like it's something. Is it something good? If it's firewood, I'll take it. Oh yeah. The greatest of firewood. It should just be a nice nice haunting walk all the way along the shore. Is this something here? Can't tell if it's something or if it's just a shadow. Okay, this is not something. Well, sometimes things spawn along with these paddles. Oh, break down by hand, don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Oh, don't want to have that ice break on me. And I think I checked in here. Yeah, those are empty. Ooh, but there was something there. What is that? Behind. This might be a bad idea, but let's... Okay. Wait, there's some kind of... What kind of carcass was that? How long can I stay on this ice? Okay, for some reason there's a wolf carcass there. I don't know why. I'm wondering if there is maybe an arrow in it. I kind of want to check. Well, I guess we can call it a learning experience. Okay, cannot harvest while on weak ice. That makes a lot of sense. And I also don't see an arrow. So let's leave that be. Because that feels a lot like taking my life into my hands. Okay, so all these fish are ruined.
Wonder if this is any good to eat.
Extremely heavy, but decent calories. So let's just keep it moving. Somehow it keeps getting darker before dawn. I suppose it's because the aurora is fading. Although why the aurora would only be during the night is a mystery. Well, maybe not. I guess it needs to be... The sun needs to be in a particular position for the rays to properly bounce off the... What is it? Atmosphere or magnetosphere, what have you. Okay, another paddle. Which we can break down by hand. 12 minutes is pretty fast, and wow, it got darker. What is this? More fish. And nothing else. And what is this? Okay, that's a body. This is wood. This is more wood. That body was probably placed there vanilla. And wow, it's dark. Okay. It is hard for me to see beyond the glare on the screen. And I'm not seeing much. I'm looking for tiny little black specks against the dark blue ice. Not easy to see. So I might be missing things. I might not. But I suppose if I do miss anything, it's not the end of the world. Okay, it's a little bit cold, but luckily our clothing is fantastic enough that we're not freezing. Okay. And also, now that the aurora has ended, even if there are wolves ahead, they're not going to be bath salts wolves. All right. Let's see, we are probably a little more than halfway there. And I've said it before, but it really is the case. All of this, I guess not all of this, but this particular background track that it plays at night, it really is menacing and makes me feel like there's something stalking me. Oh, I see something, and it's reclaimed wood. A dark silhouette is how I know that there's anything there. And I just have to get close to see if it's anything worth getting. It's the only way. Sometimes, and I don't think I've actually seen this in this particular region, but in the coastal lighthouse, what's that region called? In the Desolation Point region, that also has, okay, see more things silhouetted. In the Desolation Point region, there is, that is just a cattail head that I do not need. Cured leather, I'll take that. Simple arrow, oh my goodness, what a juicy windfall. 2 free arrows. And I hear a wolf. Closer than I was expecting. But before I was so rudely interrupted by those beautiful simple arrows, I was saying that Desolation Point has a coast as well, and things can wash up on it. And I have rarely seen ammunition wash up on the coast. So that can be a very useful way to find things. In fact, all this beachcombing is maybe my favorite way to stock up. Okay. So the fishing village should be in the middle of those rocks that are straight ahead. And I believe there is a workbench there, because I've checked all of the other settlements that are north and east of it on the coast of this bay area, and there wasn't a workbench in any of them. But I know for sure somewhere on the coast here does have a workbench. And if I can find it this time, I'm definitely putting a spray paint down to remind myself in the future, because I know that I'll forget again. But this isn't looking super hopeful, because I don't remember the place with the workbench looking like this. Let's see, is there anything to the south? I don't think there is. At least, my recollection is that the workbench is behind a small one-story log cabin type building. Yeah, no, unless it's there. Is it here? And it's also kind of nudged up behind a rock boulder, like a big rock. So this place is looking possibly... Aha. Okay, fantastic. Here it is. Here it is. So... Oh, I'm not going to fall for that again. This spray paint, you can put a mark on the map if you spray paint outside, but it treats it the same as using charcoal to do some surveying. So,
Feel my feet.
If the night is too dark, or there's too much fog, or if it's a blizzard, and you wouldn't be able to survey with charcoal, it doesn't let you mark on the map with spray paint.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
So I'm not going to fall for that one again. We can probably rest for 2 hours and wait until it is well into the dawn. Unless I'm hearing wind pick up, maybe it'll be a blizzard outside. But if it's not, we ought to be able to pop pop a spray can. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Easiest spray can of my life. Now, where is the... I guess we could call it tools, right? Perfect. Okay. Now it is a little bit cold. We do have an interior that we can get in. Oh, I see you guys. Look at these fluffy little bros over here. 3 of them trying to stalk me. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to stay for quite a bit. So let us start with, what do we want to start with? I think we want to start by turning these birch branches into arrow shafts. So crafting. No, I am crazy. It's 1 cured sapling for 3 shafts. I don't know why I thought it was fewer number. And so let's use the 64% hunting knife. And let's spend an hour doing it and see how much that lowers the condition. Okay, so our 64 hunting knife went to 63. So that's actually really low. So many arrow shafts. Let's do it. 5 hours crafting. I hear more awoos somewhere over to the left. That was unexpected. Nobody's sneaking up this way, is there? Nobody down the road? No, maybe he's somewhere in the hills there. As long as he doesn't come down here, he's not my problem. Okay. I'm actually pretty glad that this workbench is outside, because an additional thing that they've added since the first time I played is a malady, an affliction you might say, that if you stay inside for too long, you start getting cabin fever. I don't know exactly what that does. I suspect that it, I've never actually had the affliction fully, but I suspect that once you come down with cabin fever, after you risk coming down with it, once you actually come down with it, I think that what happens is you probably just lose condition until you go insane and gnaw your own legs off and die. I'm not entirely sure about the gnawing the leg off part, but you probably do just lose condition until you die. That seems to be how most of these things work. Okay. We can chill here. Lockers are nice for storage. We can chill here until we warm up a little bit. That's actually an interesting turn of phrase. We can anti-chill here until we warm up. And then we can head out and maybe spend a little bit, but not too much time in the blizzard. Okay, was there anything we wanted to repair? Yes, we wanted to repair the worn wool long johns. As opposed to the short johns. Okay, so that's good. That's high enough. We've repaired the pants. We repaired the sweater. Okay, so all of our clothing is pretty good. I do still hear the blizzard, I think. At least I hear wind.
Too much stuff to carry.
Yeah, so it's still blizzard. We are warm enough, but I think we can still get down to a little bit of business. Okay, we have enough scrap metal for... well, I guess it's 4 scrap metal and 2 cured leather. Unfortunate. Unless I can find some scrap metal somewhere. I was hoping to be able to make some new crampons. Let us check inside some of these other buildings to see if I perhaps left some... it's a low chance, but perhaps I left some scrap metal behind that I was not interested in picking up at the time. Actually, I suppose we also need another cured leather to do it. so let's actually not worry about that and start on one of these bows. Can I sneak into a windbreak? Yes. So crafting, and we can start crafting. I guess we can do a bow.
I need to drop something.
And we want to use the low condition hunting knife. Okay, that's 1 hour. And I guess we can just see how far we can get. As long as it doesn't get too cold or too... I guess it just got too cold, huh? Okay. Requires light, yeah. So let's hop inside. And we can sleep. Get this condition back and warm up.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Though you've been cold before, you have not yet begun to cold. Alright. We've got this guy. Let's just sleep as long as he gives us. Okay, blizzard is gone. Might have to start a fire and boil some water. So we're getting a little bit low, and if it's 5 hours of crafting per bow, definitely going to take quite a bit of time to get through all of them. And the arrows as well. I suppose we can make some hook and line, make some more fishing stuff. Maybe some simple lures. So let's continue our bow if possible.
I have to leave something behind.
That was using the good hunting knife. We want to use the bad hunting knife. So 2 hours off of... Oh, it just got dark again, huh? Interesting. Interesting. I guess that's because a blizzard just popped up again. So let's just wait for an hour. And between perhaps the blizzard leaving and perhaps dawn arriving, I think it should be light enough. If we run out of food, I think we're going to go and open up one of those nearby ice fishing holes and do some fishing. Okay, let's find our windbreak. And let's remember, we want survival bow. It takes 2 hours. We're at 55%. Ooh, that got cold quick. I guess the wind changed. Okay, so we went from 55% to 53%. So it's like an hour. Each hour of work is like one condition, 1% of condition on the hunting knife. Yeah, those things last forever. It's very nice.
So cold.
So we have one new bow.
Lay down for a bit.
One new bow. All these arrow shafts. And we got these arrowheads. Okay, let's think here.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's drink up. And I don't think I want to stumble out into the ice looking for that ice cabin in the blizzard, because I'll probably get lost and won't be able to find it. Okay, no, probably need to wait inside for an hour, because that is a little bit cold. In fact, we can sleep for an hour. Just take a little bit of a nap. Okay. Also, that gets rid of the hypothermia concern. Temporarily, at least. Back into our windbreak. And let's do more survival bow. And see if we can crank this one out in one shot. Okay, looking promising.
So cold.
Wait, frostbite? What? That is not good. because I think that is a permanent situation. Yep. How did that happen? Oh, you know what? I bet it got completely wet and frozen. Okay, that's it. I should have anticipated something like that. That is unfortunate.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay. So we have that now. I guess we just need to deal with it. Okay, let's see. I think now might be the time to go and get some ice fishing done. So how are we on these things? Frozen, huh? Let's sleep. See if those will thaw out a bit. Ah, that is really annoying. Still frozen, huh? Yeah, and really? Permanently reduced? Seems a little rough. Okay, let's fish.
Something's gotta go.
Well, mistakes were made. Okay, wolves over there. I don't think they should come this far across. As long as they don't have like a million fish with 3 scent marks. Shouldn't get that many fish, though. Okay, but what is that over there on the ice? And did we see it before? Yeah, what is that? It's floating. Is it a suitcase? Things usually have clothing in them. Aha. That is good for 1 cloth. Okay. Are we still getting frozen on the... We are. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so... Well, we've already gotten frostbite, so what's it really going to do to us? Chunk. Wait, really? Frostbite again? Well, I didn't want to have to... I didn't want to have to use a match to light this guy, especially because this particular kind of stove is not good. Because it only has 1 cooking slot. But I guess we have to. You know, it makes sense that we're on the coast because I just keep getting saltier and saltier about this whole situation. Yes, in the meantime, let's make some water. That's going to take an hour and a half. Which means what we can do is fish for 2 hours using our fishing lure.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
Look at how heavy this fish is. That's 3 kilograms for only like 900 calories. So bad. Okay. Take you. You're still going. Water. Cook you. Okay, and these things are I guess drying eventually. 2 more hours, not crafting, 2 more hours of fishing.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, 4 kilograms and it's barely even 1,000 calories. Okay, you are 19 minutes until boiled. We can fish a little bit longer. Okay, let's call it there on the fishing side. Take the water, pick you up. Actually, 49 more minutes. Yeah. Let us drink some, eat some, and maybe cook some of this fish. 45 minutes. If we place you and we cook, let's do this because it shouldn't burn. We'll cook you, and we can continue fishing for about a half hour. About there. Okay, 13 minutes. Probably can't cook anything in 13 minutes, huh? That's close, and it is only a stick away. Okay, now we can cook you and fish. For not too long, though. Okay, take the charcoal. Let us eat some. And start heading back. That was what, 3 or 4 hours of fire did barely fix that stuff. Okay, we do have 2 scent marks. So in case the wolves start coming, let's just get prepared. Okay, looking good. And sounding good too. Should be a clear walk. And I don't hear any alus. Not that that means too much, but it's a good start. Oh, and suddenly the blizzard has disappeared. Oh, but there's also an aurora, so if there are wolves, there'll be bath salts wolves. That's not a great transition. Okay, so let's just try to get somewhere safe. Although, if there is an aurora, there was that laptop inside the cabin. I want to see if that thing has a buffer memory. And if it does, if I haven't read it already. Oh, that is a bear. Why is there a bear running around over there? Why is the bear fleeing? Why is it running anywhere near me? There shouldn't be a bear over here. Okay, keep on. Just keep moving. Please don't come back. What the hell was that? What the actual hell was that? Jesus. Now, I'm not even mad about popping the flare over that. Because that was... I don't know what the hell that was. What the hell could make a bear go crazy like that. I can't even imagine. Okay, now how do I get up here? Guess this will do, possibly? No? Really? You're not walkable? That's annoying. Because I don't want to come around this far this way. I guess it's got to be maybe here? Okay, there we go. Why do I hear a wolf? Who barks? You know what? Oh, you're over there somewhere. We're going inside. Is that a knife?
Excellent.
That's a pretty good condition one, too. Okay, what is the deal with this bath salts, wolf, and where is it? Over there. I see you, punk. I see you. Okay, you're afraid of the light? Good. Was that bear really running from a wolf? I didn't think that's how things went. Or maybe it was hunting us from the hills. Are these bear tracks or wolf tracks? They're both. But the bear was going this way. What the hell? While this torch is going... Okay. So, was the bear following the wolf, or did the bear turn around? Where did that bear track? What the hell? What is actually going on here? Because these bear tracks are moving the wrong way from where we saw it running earlier. You know what? Let's not question it. Let's just go inside.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
We'll check the buffer memory. What do you even say? Oh, new buffer memory too. Okay. With prices as they are, it pays to fish. Damn right about that. Only if I can get the damn things onto my boat. Funding and supplies to refit they promised if I helped with that fish survey don't seem to be showing up. How rude. At this rate, I'm better off them sending me chewing gum to patch up my dory. Well, guess somebody got the short end of the stick. Let's sleep for 7 or 8. Okay, daytime. Drink time. Maybe a little bit of eat time. And if it's sunny, we can start a beautiful fire with our magnifying glass. Okay, let's see what the situation is outside. It looks like it might be sunny. Just make sure there's no wolves around still. Because that situation was, let's call it non-standard. How's the clothing?
I can barely walk with this much
Okay,
gear.
still wet? Really? Okay. So I hear our ice aloos over there. Man, I'm still salty about this frostbite. That came up. And I think there you are. There's that punk that was trying to hunt us. I'm still kind of salty about that frostbite and how it basically just came up in a snap. Probably because the wind in that blizzard changed. Okay, well, as long as he's not coming down, I guess we can do one more of these simple bows. Okay, hypothermia risk, as long as it doesn't say frostbite risk. Okay. That's fine. Too foggy to start a fire with the magnifying glass. So I think let's go and fish some more. To drop some of this weight, not all of it. And see if we can catch some more fish. Should be this way, but who knows, maybe I'll miss it. It should be this way, he said. Let's skew to the right, because then we'll hit the coast before we go past it. Come on now. I always underestimate the distance that I have to walk in these. Why are there trees over there? Did we skew too far to the right? I think we did. Let's go towards the ocean noises. And I guess we'll sleep eventually, so couldn't hurt to use... There's our little... Okay, here we are. Weren't too far off, but definitely too far to the right. Okay. And because I'm going to be... Okay, you're frozen. Got half a mind to take this off and see if that helps at all. For it to warm up or unfreeze, let's say. As long as I don't have any risk of frostbite. Okay, let's fish for a couple of hours. Rockfish. Low quality fish. Whoops. Line snapped, that's not good. Oh. No, it's still too foggy. The fog cleared a little bit, but still too foggy to light a fire. Actually, it might have cleared up.
It's starting to weigh me down.
Okay. Okay. Well, if we're lucky, we'll be able to light a fire. Specifically with the magnifying glass, but it might... It's borderline. It's borderline at dusk right here. So I'm going to say chances are by the time we get back, it's probably going to be too dark. But that's all right. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Okay. And let's make sure that guy that's up in the hills doesn't come down again. Yeah, awoo, I hear you too, punk. Yeah, 2 cent marks should be... It's a pretty, as far as I know, it's a pretty wide area that they'll sniff me from. But it shouldn't be so wide that they're already coming this way. Yeah, these guys are not coming this way. And I think we're good on our hill buddy. Okay. None of these are cooked, huh?
Feels like a lot of gear.
Well, let's... yeah, see if we can start the fire. And maybe... here? Okay, the important question, can't with the magnifying lens. We just have the one wood. Unless we break down some of these pallets. Food-wise, okay, nothing is cooked. So let's actually start that fire. First, let's get as much of this wood as we can. Keep that fire going. It shouldn't take a gigantic amount of time to cook all this fish, because fish cook pretty fast, despite how heavy they are. Is there any other hand-obtainable wood? Might have to suck it up and just do some of these pallets. Okay, that didn't help much. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to have to break down some of these pallets. So, go big or go home. Let's do the big stack. And even though it takes 2 hours, 16 reclaimed wood is nothing to scoff at. Okay, but now we really do need to
getting too heavy to carry.
Start cooking. Okay, right about here. And start with the reclaimed wood. And hopefully we don't get sniped by the wind again and have all of our burn time wasted. 2 hours. For starters, I'm pretty sure we're going to need more water by the time all is said and done. And we can place these fish. Okay, how long does this fish take? 40 minutes. So, we can craft for an hour.
I need to find food.
Oh, we found food, buddy. Okay. And yeah, 40 minutes for 600 calories is not a whole bunch. Not a whole bunch at all. 30 minutes on you, 18 minutes on you. To craft for half hour. Make sure we're using the lower quality hunting knife. Because it always defaults to using the higher quality one, and I don't know why. Okay. I think we're lucking out with the wind so far.
Carry this load for much longer.
Definitely lucking out with the wind situation. Alright, and due to the shadow, I just saw hook and some line on this table that I didn't know was there before. Yoink. Okay, get you. You're not melted yet. Yeah, all this cook time. Actually, it looks like cooking this fish makes it much more calorie intensive. So it's not so bad as raw fish. Apparently sushi is great for losing weight, according to the stats here. And we can do another half hour on the survival bow. Get our trout. You're not boiled yet. And we have 2 more fish to cook. So we can do, yep. Let's do 1 more reclaimed wood. And that should be plenty. Another half hour on the survival bow. boiled and cooked. And now we've just got the one fish left. That's a half hour. And you have that much burn time. Doing, yeah, 1.5 liters.
Feels like something is sapping my energy.
Could it be that you've been awake all night? Okay. Wait. Wait. How did you burn? I was only crafting for a half hour. I don't know how that worked out. I do not understand it. But at any rate, it is bedtime. We'll probably sleep for 11 hours, which will put us to,
This
it looks
starting
like,
to slow me down.
sometime in the early afternoon. Lazy Sunday, wake up in the early afternoon. Call Pernell just to see how he's doing. Alright. Plenty of water for now. So water-wise, we're in a good spot. Might have to go fish more. Okay. In fact, almost certainly have to go fish more. Get our clothes... Okay, so it unfroze... No, I didn't mean to do that. It unfroze and it began to thaw. Not thaw. To warm up. Not to warm up. To dry. I think the problem was sitting out in this blizzard. So I think... Let us finish this bow. We should be safe to finish the bow. Wait, 5 hours? Did we finish it already? No way. Huh. Okay, maybe that's why the food burned. Did I unthinkingly... It must have been why the food burned. Did I unthinkingly craft for 2 hours when I meant to do a half hour? Well, they do say time flies when you're having fun.
Slowing me down.
Okay, let's pop inside for just a moment. Need to take care of a couple things. One moment. I'll be back momentarily.
I can barely walk with this much gear. I would do anything for a drink right now. I need some water.
Alright, I finally returned. Apologies. I'm just in time to dehydrate to death. Okay. Probably going to need to go to the vet around 2-ish, so let's see if we can crank out the rest of these arrows right quick. If I can find... Where is the bed? We need to sleep. Leave cabin, bed. Okay. All the sleeping. Every last bit of sleeping. Okay, and it's still dark outside. Luckily we found the door.
Too heavy.
Yes, it is. Okay, we've got a bunch of mass in water and wood. And we can put all of this stuff here. And where's our wood? Here's our wood. Mostly reclaimed, I hear you, Mr. Wolf. Now we are low on food, by which I mean we have no cooked food. So let's spend the rest of the night fishing, and if we get lucky in the morning and it is still clear outside, then we can light a fire with our magnifying glass. Yeah, just fish till morning, easy. The coat is almost fully dried. And with any luck, it'll dry while we're fishing. Okay, here's our hole. This is my hole. It was made for me. Chunk. And I guess, yeah, we're just fishing to fish. Really? You snap so quickly.
Too much stuff to
I
carry.
love a good coho salmon. Just take all these fish. All these fish. It's cooling down a little bit. I think we're going to be all right. All these fish. Come on now. More fish. Okay, that's good. And despite the 3 scent marks, nothing has come towards us yet. And we are downwind from where the wolves would be. That's a bunch of fish. Okay.
Can't feel my hands.
And how are we on... Okay, still fine cold-wise. It's okay if we get a little bit chilly. That is totally fine. As long as another bear doesn't suddenly charge at us again. That was ridiculous. See, that's why I say that during the aurora, all the animals get on bath salts. Because things like that happen.
It's starting to weigh me down.
Okay, so what do we have left to do? We have 1 bow left to make. And I believe we have all of the arrows. So bow's 5 hours, and each arrow is... I don't remember how long each arrow takes.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
I do not recall. But I'm hoping it only takes like a half hour or so. It might be 3 hours. That wouldn't be good. Because when I said we have a lot of arrows to make, we have a lot of arrows to make. Let me up, please. Here we go. Okay. Nothing fluffy abounds. So we ought to be quite safe on the way back, even though there's possibly that hill wolf. And that hill wolf is possibly downwind. I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. Let's hop inside. I don't think this thing has
This pack is getting
anywhere
too
to
heavy
cook.
carry.
It doesn't. Okay, let's sleep for a couple of hours and hope this weather gets a little bit better. Okay. It still sounds windy outside. And that's a proper blizzard. So let's get that water and let's just keep sleeping until this thing passes. We are going to need to cook because I don't want to lose this well-fed bonus. Basically just listening for the wind to die down. Which it hasn't yet. Please sleep another hour. I don't think it's gone yet. No, it has not. Getting just a little bit spicy on the food situation. Okay, it's still hear the wind. Not tired enough. How dare you? I'm always tired. Yeah, how long is this blizzard gonna last?
This load for much longer.
Okay. If waiting for 1 hour doesn't make the blizzard pass, I'm gonna check the other fishing huts to see if they have any stoves. Okay. So there's no blizzard, but it's also not sunny enough to use the magnifying glass. But I don't think we can be picky at this point. So cardboard reclaimed. And generally looking pretty good.
Come on.
Okay, I think we're going to double cook. Because water-wise, there's something like 5 liters left. Okay, what is this? 24 minutes, 20 minutes. Alright, that's better. And it sounds like the wind might be trying to troll us again. In fact, I'm almost certain the wind is trying to troll us again. So let's not get too far ahead of our skis on this burn time. Okay, 30 and 20. And an hour.
I'm not sure I
Yeah,
can
this is
carry
almost
much more.
certainly going to get blown out, isn't it? Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah, you burned out. Unless it's sunny. And that means... too windy. Where's the wind? Show me the wind. Okay, fine. Fine. But in the meantime, let us start crafting this guy. 2 hours maybe? Well... it's still windy, huh? Come on now. Where's this wind coming from? Oh, I see you, punk. I see you. Nope. N-O-P-E. I'll have you know I do not enjoy getting nibbled.
I might have to drop some gear.
See if he's gone. Because if he hasn't gone, there's going to be a fight. Alright, let's go, punk. Let's go, punk. Where are you at? Still too windy, huh? Well, I guess let's just keep working.
The sun's setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Yep, but not so soon. You know, sometimes I don't understand how he continues crafting at late at night. Did I hear a bark? Or is that just the ocean? I think it's just the ocean. Okay. We still have 5 fish to cook.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Let's sleep. And I'm hoping against hope that in the morning it'll be sunny enough to use the magnifying lens. That is the one thing I want to do with my life. I want to cook with the magnifying lens. Please let me. Please, for the love of all things, allow me to start a fire with the magnifying lens. But in the absence of that, we're just going to continue working on these arrows, assuming that it's light enough. Okay, we can make a whole bunch, 1.5 hours a pop. Huh. You know, we're making so many, it's probably worth using the simple tools. Yeah, it feels like a waste, but... because it's only, what? 20 or so minutes, 40 or so minutes. Let's see. 1.5 is... I hear you. Let's not just chill out outside. 1.5 hours is 90 minutes. 1.12 hours. That's like
I'm gonna have to leave something
I don't
behind.
know, 70 so minutes. Okay, sleep for 2. Should be plenty dawn. And with luck, we'll be able to start that fire. Can you tell that I'm obsessed? Really? A blizzard? The number of blizzards is too damn high. Because this is just a little bit much, don't you think? That's not happening. What the hell? Let's check these other cabins for some kind of a stove. I don't see any chimneys. So I'm not really holding out hope. You never know. Maybe I'll get lucky. Nope. And I don't even know if this third cabin is enterable. Okay, it is, and nothing. Not even a fire barrel. How rude. How's our clothing looking? It's getting a little bit wet.
Too heavy.
Alright, so we'll wait an hour and see where that puts us. Playing solitaire solitarily. Still hear the wind, but it might be sunny. One can hope against hope. Nope. One can also nope against nope. We don't have an infinite amount of time to wait before we run out of food completely. Well, run out of cooked food. I'm still hearing that wind. This blizzard is just lasting. My goodness. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like the game knows exactly what to do and when to troll me. Still hear that wind. I'm not even going to go out. We're just going to wait another hour. It's been what? 4 or 5 hours already? Okay, here we go. It's still very windy. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on now. It's not even a windbreak. Why is it so damn windy all the time exactly when I'm trying to cook? Well, let's craft for an hour. And that sounds like the wind has gone
I wonder
down.
if I can drop any of this gear.
Finally. Really? Can't magnifying glass when it's so bright outside? Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so these guys are starting over basically from scratch. Got enough reclaimed wood. That should be fine. We can make one more arrow. With tools. And those things shouldn't... Well, I don't trust them to not burn. Cold? How are you cold? Well, don't question it. Don't question it. Okay. 3 more fish. 1 fish. 2 fish. You need 33 minutes, you need 30 minutes. Can we... That might be a little bit too long. How long does this take to burn? 54 minutes. Okay, so we can. We can indeed leave that for an hour while we cook.
Too much stuff to carry.
Or while we craft. That, maybe not. And now we're back to 0 food again. $38 minutes. Let's think. All melted. Yeah, you'll probably be fine, because the fire should go out before it actually burns, boils off. Let's see if the timing messes with us or not. Nope, perfectly fine. Okay. Food-wise, we have not a lot of food. So let's drop these. And we need to go fishing again. Man, so much back and forth here. Because the caloric value is just not great for fish. Fatigue, really need to fish. Really need to fish. I don't think there's time to sleep for 6 hours, and then go fishing, and then go cooking. That would be cutting it really close if anything goes wrong at all. Okay, caw. So you guys are just flying. I never know what it means when they just fly over you versus when they... Are they flying from something? Are they flying to something? I'm not sure. Oh. Straight up, huh? Interesting. Alright. Ice breaking activities. And then fishing activities. We need at least a few fish here. Let's see what we can get. 4 hours. That's a lot of time to fish. A lot of calories.
I might have to drop
That's
some gear.
not a lot of fish. Still not a lot of fish. And that sounds like a blizzard. Still not a lot of fish. I'm not sure how much fish that is. Yeah, these are all the tiniest little fish I've ever seen in my life. Let's think. Let's think. 300, 400, 200, 200, 300. This is not a lot of fish. I think we need to fish a little bit longer. Okay, better. Much better. Okay, now we can deal with this. Okay, that'll do. But we're probably gonna risk some hypothermia getting back. Man, just one thing after another lining up against us. Suppose that's how it goes sometimes. So drink as much as we can, speed up. Yeah, fish is just so heavy for the calories it's worth. We're not about to get frostbite, are we? No. No, we're perfectly fine. And then sleep for just as long as it takes to get this blizzard off us. Because then we need to get all these shrimps on the Barbie. As soon as we can.
Feels like a lot of gear.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have to think. We just need to walk forward and go inside. All that needs to be done. The upside is that perhaps this blizzard has brought us some more ocean arrows. One silver lining in all this. Just waiting to see that little bump of land. Is that it in the silhouette? I can't quite tell. It's not what I was looking for, because what I was looking for does not have grass on it like this. I think we want to head right and probably end up going around. The little jetty that I was expecting to see is all impassable rock. So I think what's happening is, yeah, that's a little bit of the road barrier. So we went too far left. But we should be able to just follow this and get right to the hut that we're looking for. Okay, yes. Bluster, bluster, bluster.
I'm gonna need to rest soon.
And this looks like our little copse of trees. Hopefully the one right next to the fire. Yeah, it's looking promising. Quite promising. I guess also on the upside, we're not walking against the wind here. Because that would be even more rough. Okay, this is definitely not what I thought it was going to be. Where the hell is our building? And here's another little boulder. Where the hell is our building? It's somewhere on this road. How did we get so far to the west? Or I guess it'd be the south. Oh, there we are. Finally. Yeah, look at that food meter. Definitely gonna have to sleep hour by hour. Because that was just silly.
All this gear is slowing me down.
Okay, sleep. For 1 hour. And wake, question mark. There we are. Okay, sounds good, possibly? Yeah. Okay, so the wind must have just been dying down when we got here. Which, of course it does. What the hell is this? Oh, shadow. Let's get the fire started. Make sure nothing fluffy sneaks up on us from the side.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. Add some sticks. And eat these guys while the other things are cooking. And cooking slot gets the cooking pot. Cooking slot gets the fish. Cook a fish. You. Okay. Eat these guys. That should tide us over. Otherwise, we'll just be cooking these fish. Our favorite rhythm game.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
You can walk. 4 more fish. 47 minutes. Probably gonna need to add a little bit more firewood. Yes, absolutely gonna need to add more.
If I don't rest soon, I'm gonna...
That should do it. Okay, place you. 24 minutes, 18. Speed up the shorter cooking time so that less time is spent idle. 20 minutes, speed you up. Okay, pick up. We eat food. Okay. And maybe even craft an arrow. Now, unfortunately, sleep, it's dawn, and we really need to go to bed. Actually, we're going to need more water, too. Okay.
I need to drop something.
And we should wake up just at about dusk. I guess this is going to show one benefit of the outside workbench, that being that you can work into the night much longer and under much, well, more adverse conditions compared to if you had an inside workbench, where if it gets anywhere near dusk, you can't do anything. A little bit low on water. Might have to do something about that. Fish-wise, should be okay for at least a little bit. But so many of these fish are not great. Okay. Simple tools. Let's craft a few arrows. The limiting factor is going to be the arrowheads, and we've got 14 of those left.
Time to look for shelter.
11 now. Okay. And maybe 3 more, question mark? Not sure whether to call this a sprint or a marathon. Okay, what time is it? Midnight.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
200, 500, 1,000, 1,600, 2,000. We have about 3,000 calories. I'm thinking that might be enough. So let's keep going with the arrows. Okay, and it suddenly became too dark for reasons unknown. But it's alright because it is late enough at night that we can just sleep till dawn. And we wake up rested, dehydrated, and a little bit hungry. And it also sounds very windy outside. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Sunny? Oh, that's pretty. But not so handsome as to tempt me to take a screenshot.
Looks like I survived another night.
Let's think momentarily. Okay, definitely running out of water.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
And how many arrows do we have left to make? 8 arrows left to make. Start with 4. And that should bring us till around noon. Hypothermia. Let's, not... Well, it's too windy, isn't it?
Goddamn freezing.
Yeah, it's probably too windy to start this fire. With our friend the magnifying lens, unless it's not too windy. And yet again, as long as the wind doesn't snipe us...
The hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
As long as the wind doesn't snipe us, we can make some water. Water, it's enough for 2 liters. Should be enough for 2 liters. If not, we can do another reclaimed. So that'll be good. Let's drink a little bit. And then we can just make arrows for an hour. So 1 arrow. What the hell was that noise? Oh, that's a bear. That's a bear. That's a bear. Jesus, what is a bear doing over here? Okay.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Is it still there? What the actual hell was that? Where did it go? Okay, so it seems like my bear knowledge was kind of weak because I didn't know that they came all the way over here. And where the hell did it go? Where in the hell did it go? Well, I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to question it. We're going to get this water. We are going to... What are we going to do? We're going to finish these arrows. 4 arrows. Tools. And maybe we can just go straight through. Okay, perfect. So that's all of our arrows. Water-wise, we're good. Food-wise, we're okay. Now let's just see if there's anything else that we want to craft before leaving.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Hooks, lines, snares, simple fishing lures. Let's see. 2 hooks. I've got a bunch of line. So let's make a little bit of hook and the rest simple lures. And because it's a blizzard now, let's speed it up with the tools. Being outside for an hour in all this shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Okay, and now, once this blizzard is, once this blizzard is gone, we are out of here. So let's sleep for a little while. And listen carefully. Still blizzard. Don't mind sleeping for a little bit longer. And I still hear wind. I still hear wind that might be stronger than before. Okay, how many calories do we have left? 1,100. Okay, pushing it a little bit on the wind side, or on the time side. Can't sleep for much longer. How long is this blizzard gonna last? Still hear it. Still hear it. Man, what the hell? Really? And it's a proper blizzard, not just strong wind. Well, can't sleep, so... Really? How is this thing just sticking around for so long? Okay, there we go. Let's sleep for 1 more hour. And 1 moment.
Thank goodness.
Okay, now I'm actually back. For some reason I pressed the unmute button. It didn't unmute. Fantastic. But at any rate, I should have been looking at the coast this whole time. I
Too much
was
stuff to carry.
not paying attention to that. To see if these last blizzards that have been trolling us so thoroughly will have led to any additional things appearing. Like any nice, for example, hatchet that we just picked up, or any nice extra simple arrows. Ruined fish, ruined fish. Ruined fish, I suppose, is only good for making bait out of. Okay. Plenty of view distance. And is this boat new? Sometimes there's good things on an overturned boat. Like hatchets. I can pick up so many... Is that fishing tackle? Yes. I pick up so many hatchets that get blown up onto the shore. And I have no idea how this is possible because the metal head of the hatchet must be so heavy that there's no way it could do anything other than just completely sink into the bottom of the ocean. And yet somehow they keep appearing on the shoreline. And now remember, this shoreline is ice. And that means that underneath it, especially because it's thin ice at the edge, underneath it is just water. So it's not like the hatchet could have been swept along the bottom of the ocean until it got pushed onto shore by the waves. It would have had to get somehow tumultuously launched or buffeted from the bottom of the ocean where it must have sunk, because metal is heavy and metal sinks in water. It must have been launched or buffeted somehow to the top of the water and then pushed onto land by the wind. And that's just, I mean, from a game standpoint, from a game design standpoint, I suppose it makes sense, because what else are you going to have wash up on shore, or how else are you going to get this kind of stuff as a renewable resource into the game? That sounds like a deer noise. I'm hoping it's a deer noise. It is a deer noise. But as far as the physics is concerned, it makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, pick this up so we don't forget it. And now,
Heavy.
let's go and sleep until morning. And I think, because I've got a hard out pretty soon, I think we'll call it there. We've successfully crafted all the bows we cared to. We've successfully crafted all the arrows we cared to. We got a couple more hooks. We got some simple lures. I think we're ready to head north. We just need to drop a bunch of extra stuff and make sure we're carrying light. Okay. So we just got a save, didn't we, right? I'm pretty sure we did. So let's call it there. And as always, I'm Yuchi, and I have been trying. I'll see y'all on the proverbial flip side.